Greetings and welcome back. We're going to play some more Hollowvine today. If you're not familiar, that is referring to the cards Hollow and Vengevine together, and a deck full of enablers and payoffs. So far we are 2-0. If you want to see a guide on how to play the deck, as well as the first two matches, they are in a video linked in the description. Obviously it is going well so far. A few concerns brought up by people in the Hollow Discord, as well as a few comments about our sideboard plan and about whether or not we should be playing the Surveil land in a deck so hyper aggressive focused. So things to consider going forward to watch out for as we play. Playing against an okay Magic player. Speaking of Surveil land, shoot. I think we keep. This technically has everything we want in the Burning Inquiry and this with the discard outlets, so here we see there's Surveil land. If this was any other land on the deck, we'd be able to turn one Flame Blade into turn 2 Burning Inquiry. As it is, we might just have to skip playing the Flame Blade, honestly. I'm not sure. I don't know how we're triggering Vengevine as well unless we hit a Rootwalla. So, second Vengevine, interesting. Was hoping to hit a land there. We'll keep the Hollow one on top. We definitely don't want to bin that one. That's the one we want to keep in our hand. We're setting up for a potentially great turn. Our opponent has also set up for possibly a turn 3 win. What are they trying to cast right now? They picked the wrong color mana, maybe? Well, they've tried to do it 3 times. They figured it out? They figured it out. It's a colorless spell. I don't know. So they can equip, and then they just need 1 land to adapt. So yeah, what we're doing might not matter, but we'll try. We only discarded 1 Vengevine, but we managed to hit 3 Hollow ones. Fortunately, did not hit some other discard outlet that could get rid of the Vengevine. If we had kept this looting in our hand, this would be like a perfect turn. As is, I think we'll go ahead and shock ourselves to get out the Flame Blade. And then we'll put out our big dumb 4/4s. This would be good against anything but the turn 1 win, honestly, or turn 3 win, honestly. We probably won't be able to get this second Vengevine out, but we could just be dead right now. I'm trying to think. I guess technically he might just have an infinitely big Basking Broodscale, which we could block. He has to also, but he gets infinite colorless mana, so it's like all he needs is a Fleshraker or a Kozilek's Command in hand. So if he shows us a Fleshraker or the Kozilek's Command, I mean it's hard because he kind of has to make a ton of mana before he casts the Kozilek's Command. He actually can't even swing with this, so he has to basically get a Fleshraker out. And in paper, he could just show us his hand. Or they could just show us their hand. Fortunately, online, there's not really a way to shortcut that. They could message me. If they messaged me and said, hey, I have a Fleshraker, I would concede. With Kozilek's Command, it's harder because they have to make 50 mana. They don't have to, but they want to make at least, 20, so they can scry through half their deck to find the, Fleshraker. I assume that's what we're going to see. And they have to make sure they make enough mana that they can scry to a Fleshraker, or else the Kozilek's Command is wasted. So I just realized, how did they get the... Oh, we discarded these with our Burning Inquiry. Okay, this is enough mana to cast one and make sure they see a Fleshraker, unless they're only playing 1 Fleshraker, which I doubt. But it is what it is. I mean, we basically have him dead next turn. The Goblin Lore means this swings as a 4, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're swinging for 20. They can block 1. They're dead. we hit the land, do we just go for flashback looting to get rid of the Vengevine? Maybe. Thing is, there's no way we're getting the Vengevine out of the graveyard that turn, but reconsideration over just the random lore. Feels bad to waste a triple Hollowvine on a game where we lose, but it is what it is. We're getting close to the point of where it's just like, is our opponent just doing this for fun? Like, show me Kozilek's command. There we go. Scry X, draw a card. The annoying part of that is they can find the one, and they still have to click every single card and say scry bottom, scry bottom, scry bottom, scry bottom. So this will probably take a while to resolve. Oh no, it's a walking ballista. Okay, cool. Well, that makes more sense why they had to go up to 40. Letting them know if they cast it, they can cast it as a 1/1 and they can still have infinite mana to buff it up, so it doesn't. It's still a win con. Our grudge is worth it. Kind of attacks their mana and stuff, but doesn't hit the. Well, it hits the enchantment or equipment, I guess. So I think that's worth it. Bloodman worth it. I think heat is worth it. I don't think we want the rough and tumbles here, although it does hit everything in their deck. Does Lay on the Void stop the trigger? Shoot. I don't want this one. Sorry. Basking Broodscale with Leyline of the Void. Typically you can just kind of like search the... Deck stats. Wheel is a replacement effect. That doesn't help me. Pretty sure Basking Broodscale says when it dies, and when you have Leyline, you don't get trigger, die trigger, right? Oh, it's the Blade of the Blood Chief, right? Anyway, I think Leyline stops it. We'll cut these. We'll cut a couple Flame Blades. Oxes are a little slow too. Submit like this because I'm about to run out of time. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll keep... It's kind of a slower hand. We don't have any discard outlets, but keep with this. We'll hold on to the Rootwalla just to set up for a Vengevine, maybe. He might get in for some damage pretty quick. I think we'll play this first. See what we draw into to make our decision. See what our opponent's first turn is. If I'm wrong and I sideboarded wrong, it is what it is, but I'm pretty certain, having experienced Leyline back in the day, it's been a while since it's mattered. I've played against Brasking Broodscale, but almost only with the blue Belcher list. I think I've beat it with Neobrand a couple times as well, but in those lists it doesn't really like matter. This is my first time playing a card that really tries to interact with them. I saw the Mountain. I think we'll go ahead and just play this guy out. I think we want some sort of clock, and we're not guaranteed to draw a discard outlet. It obviously feels bad if we just like top deck Faithless Looting, and this would have been perfect to set up for our turn, but another one is like Fear of Missing Out. We'll be good with it. I don't know why it's spinning on our turn still. I clicked OK. Okay. What is happening? Did I pass through the turn inadvertently? How do I still have... Oh, I got rid of you. I'll just close it. Here's a Saga. Did I actually bring in the... I didn't bring in the Bloodmoons. It's hard because of like Springleaf Drum, and now they're usually playing Opal, right? It's like... I don't want to yield through. Heat can kill it without Delirium. What are they taking? The Opal, maybe? They can turn it on once the Saga goes, or do they just want... Yeah, they took the Opal. Makes sense. Okay, they're all in the graveyard. I don't think I want to waste the heat on this. I'm surprised they didn't take Flashraker. It's pretty good even with Leyline, right? Got the Blade. Now we get to Ancient Stirrings as well. What do they have that answered this that is colorless? Haywire Might, maybe? They probably brought it in against us just because it can remove hollow ones, right? Took a Broodscale. Okay. Well, we got heat for that one. Another land. Ho hum bum. We need to not draw lands. I guess this is what upside is like. We do get to just hard cast Vengevine next turn. Doesn't do nothing. But they get to make a pretty big token here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4/4, and it will become a 5/5. They could have 2 5/5s by next turn. They're making the Broodscale, okay. If they go to equip, we'll shoot it. Nope. They want to make the dude. We'll go ahead and shoot it. Be mana efficient. Oh no, we can adapt in response. That was dumb. Oops. If you were watching, you're like, wait, don't do that. That's a bad plan. You're right. I forgot that adapt is. I thought it was sorcery speed for some reason. I'm spoiled by the fact that WotC keeps printing stuff that only activates at sorcery speed, and I think that that's how things are now. That's annoying. Okay. Well, that's not great for us. Obviously not swinging with the 1/1 since I can't buff it up. I might just hardcast a hollow one next turn, who knows? They can get the Haywire Might now, right? So wait, we're just dead because I made the mistake with the... No, they don't have Haywire Might. That's nice. What? Do they have another Beseiju? So confused. Oh, it does just trigger. The tokens still die through Leyline. Well, now we know. Wow. Okay. So I was wrong. I mean, I know it's a token and tokens like interact slightly differently, but I thought Leyline meant that dice triggers don't happen. I'm trying to think of what card that used to interact with that mattered, but I can't off the top of my head. Bridge from below, right? If you're playing bridge and your opponent had creatures, you had to play Leyline to stop them from dying, right? When a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard, if it's in your graveyard, exile it. So you played Leyline. That doesn't say die. So maybe that's why. This is when it's put in the graveyard, which is different from the die's trigger. Okay. Well, don't use Leyline against a Broodscale deck. So if instead of Leyline, I had done... Maybe we do just bring in this. I don't know. He can adapt over that. He and Grudge. Maybe Blood Moons. Would have been better. The hand we kept was only good if Leyline was good, so the whole loss was based on the fact that I did not understand. Or it doesn't work like it's supposed to, but I assume it means I didn't understand. So, we live and learn. Feels bad to break the winning streak. Going for the 5-0 there until Jimothy was wrong. Burning Fist, 1, 2, 3. Hope they're playing red. I think... I mean, yeah, we don't have Vengevines or Hollow Ones, but I think we keep this. I think I'm actually going to Surveil first, just to set up as big of a turn as possible. But having looting plus cards we want to discard is a pretty good place to start. And obviously we hope to, with our Surveil land, our draw next turn, and our looting, to hit some mixture of like Hollow Ones, Street Wraith, Vengevine. You got a Thoughtseize me? No. Don't know what that does. It deals combat. You may sacrifice if you do proliferate. And it deals damage equal to its power. Okay, fun. Goblin, Phyrexian, proliferates, does damage when it dies. I would definitely like a free Vengevine in the yard. That's a good hit off the Surveil here. Another land. Let's loot it away. Let's hit our Phoenixes. Shoot. Wish I had this fear of missing out. So this still cost 1, so I can't play it and bestow. But I think I'm gonna play it this turn. But it means we don't get our Phoenix back, which is annoying. Or our Vengevine, rather. Next turn I can Fear plus Phoenix. And I think Bestow caught. You may cast from your graveyard. Yeah, I think it counts. I've said that before, and I hope it's true. So, I mean, I think we just block this, right? It only does something when you deal damage to a player. But it would still die and do 1 damage. So if he has some way to buff this, we have to be careful. Not careful, I guess. If he is trading a buff card plus the Scamp for a Hollow One, I think that's fine. Yeah. I mean, you could just have Bolt, but again, if this eats a Bolt, I'm okay with that. I guess we don't actually have a target for Phoenix if it eats a Bolt. Oh no, we're going to fear of missing out. Yeah, giving fear of missing out a Phoenix buff is good. What does this do? It gets +3, +0 when it dies. Manifest. Okay. So it gets to do 4 damage to us, in addition to killing the Hollow One. It's a fun little combo. Inside Out is a terrifying art. What you got under that 2/2 there? Oh, Monstrous Rage. So he's got buff cards and the Scamp. If you're missing out, I think we'll actually discard the Hawks. And then I think I still want to bestow Phoenix, even though I got the Flame Blades, which are good. Hollow One. Oh, I don't really want to lose the looting. I guess I do. I'll lose the looting because I have the ox. It doesn't trigger it. Well, good to know. It says you may cast it. I also don't have... I should have paid attention. I needed the sorcery. That was a fail. I guess next turn we're going to double Flame Blade to get our Vengevine back. Swing for 4, 8, 9... yeah, 4, 8, 12. So if we do... I can't quite get the Phoenix back, unfortunately. We'll see what we draw. That would be lethal if we could. Opponent is doing their thing. Claim to Fame. It's kind of a 2-card combo, right? Just Scamp plus Claim to Fame is very effective. So we can do 3, 4, 5, and then another 3. So then we're not dead, but we are down to 6 if he sacks us again. Okay. We're down to 3. Okay. We're within bolt range already. That's pretty effective little combo there with the Scamp, Rakdos Scamp. Wish I had a way to discard this, but I don't. Do I have a way to kill him this turn? I don't think so because I can't use the Phoenix and get the Vengevine back. If I just double Flame Blade, Phoenix comes back. Oh, I can cast this one. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, here we go. We're figuring it out. I think this will do it. Let's see if my math is correct. Well, especially because I can bestow on one of these. Exile that. Oh, but I keep forgetting I don't have Delirium for fear of missing out. Okay, is this enough? It's not. I needed Delirium for it to be enough. So we are just dead to Bolt. I'm dead to Bolt. I'm dead to a removal spell. I could have left one back to not be dead to removal spell, but I feel like if he has a removal spell, it's probably Bolt anyway. I'm dead to him, like, bringing this back again. Yeah, dead to Bolt. Didn't matter. I kept forgetting that fear of missing out only triggers on Delirium. Okay, mistakes were made yet again. Leyline does seem pretty good against... They probably have Unearth as well. And I guess I don't think we want Sorcery Speed, whether this was Pyroclasm or not. I don't think we want Blood Moon. Trim on Goblin Lore. Trim an Ox. Do we want to trim Burning Inquiry because it can help his deck? I think so. I mean, it doesn't if we have Leyline, but... Trim one and we'll trim one. Someone was saying, like, the Adepts aren't as good once you start trimming on Lores and Burning Inquiries, right? Keep the brain. But I do want, like we saw there, like, I want to have the creatures to trigger Vengevines. So it's an interesting tension. We have this. We have lots of things to discard and looting, so I think this is a pretty good hand. A lot better than the one we kept last game with Leyline. This time we know... Spider-Man meme. Look at that. Look at us both just saying, no. No fun for you. I don't want to go for this yet because I want to be able to play both Hollow Ones, and I won't be able to. Obviously, our Vengevines become a lot worse. Our Detective Phoenix worse. I don't think we even have an answer to this. I don't think we have one in the whole 75, but we're hoping that Smash it with hollow ones. Fast enough. We even have. Oh no, I have full art. I think we'll still surveil. Because, like that, we don't want. Fear of missing out. Normally, this is just value, but by looting now, I can guaranteed cast one hollow one. I'd have to hit exactly like Street Wraith to get both of them. I think I want to wait and get both, because I'm going to have to discard like good cards. I can't collect evidence. It's like I'm never bestowing this, but I might just play it as a 2/2 haste. This will never have Delirium, so I'm probably ditching that. So I'm not going to cast it now, because I have to discard another card, which right now is actually a downside, where it's usually an upside. So I guess I kind of actually wanted this third land, but not kind of wanted. If I get hit a land next turn, I'm golden. If otherwise, I need to hit some other discard outlet. I think if I hit nothing, I'm still just going to go ahead and cast one hollow one, because we have to have some sort of threat in play. Although he can't recur his scamps, we have to like block the first one still. Wow. Very similar starts from both of us. Dread Horde, that makes sense, because he also dies and deals damage. He gets bigger when he does damage to us, which is very unfortunate. Now he could trade with the hollow one next turn. Oh, we hit the Street Wraith. Yay. There you go. We would have hit it off the looting, which is, you know, it is what it is. I can't actually Arena Glory a hollow one, because I'm going to just play them both for free. So I don't want to exert. So we're going to ditch the fear of missing out. I guess a Vengevine, because again, they're useless until I have a fourth land anyway. And the third land means that I get to cast a Phoenix next turn. Nothing else. And it already has haste. Just do this now to save time. Okay, so yeah. We're definitely blocking this. Him buffing it up means it is kind of scary. He can probably 2 for 2 us. He'll trade his Dread Horde plus a buff spell for both of our hollow ones. In this game, because neither of us get our recursion effects, it's going to kind of be who can have a creature left. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If a player's going to make it, this is going to be awkward, but yeah. With no buff, he has to have them each deal damage to the hollow ones to kill the hollow ones. Could have this one deal damage to this one. Oh, he does have a buff. Okay, that makes more sense. Buffing this one, so it automatically kills this. Doesn't die, and he has one. Wow, double muted. The double mutagenic boss is insane. Oh, wow. Well, that was a great play for our opponent. They still have 2 cards in hand. We are hurting. I guess we cycle now. We are killing ourselves. I can play the Phoenix, but it's just a chump blocker, so I guess I'm gonna make this guy cast 3. Yeah, the dies trigger didn't happen. See? That's what doesn't make sense. Why did the dies trigger happen last game, but it doesn't happen this game? Makes no sense. Anyways, if he has a buff for this that buffs its toughness as well, we're in trouble. Seems like he's casting another spell. Might just be dead anyway. The Nemesis will take 4 damage, which means we are already at 5 blocking, which we have to block. What does this guy do? Enters with +1/+1 counter for each creature that died under your control. Okay, so it's just a 2/2 haste, and he's making another what? Oh, nothing? Does he have a buff spell? I think we have to block this. Puts us to 5, down to 3, so we're just dead to Bolt. His last card's Bolt. Doesn't have exactly Bolt. We can play this to block this and then hope he runs out of gas, but it's an interesting deck. He says the old... Yeah, it's cool. This guy needs to know that his brew is cool, so we'll tell him it's cool. Being within Bolt Rage again obviously feels bad. It seems like his deck is playing 4 of them. Really got blown out by double mutagenic. Not completely blown out, but another Bolt. What does his other side do? Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target, then sacrifice it. So we're dead to quite a few of his top decks. Biggest question is, do we swing? Giving him just 1 turn? Yeah, I think we have to. If we leave 1 on defense, it obviously beats, like a Dread Horde. I'm trying to think what else he has with haste. This is already exerted, so I think this is best. It means we're dead to Bolt, plus we're dead to the 3, assuming 3 other remaining Dread Horde Arcanists. The Screaming Nemesis also have haste? Yeah. It's quite a bit of hasters. We're dead to Screaming Nemesis no matter what, even if we had a blocker, so. He has that. It seems like he probably drew a buff spell. Nope, he drew the land. So he can't fetch or he's dead. Well, we have it, yeah, because we can do 6 damage with this. Oh, we drew another Vengevine. Okay, so I think we still keep in the ley lines. Do we change anything? Blood Moon does seem to, like, it would actually punish him somewhat, but Grudge isn't doing anything. We brought in the Unholy Heat, right? Interesting. I'm going to take out the last lore against knowing he's bringing in Leyline and might be mulling for it and just bring in... Flameblade might just be a 1/2, but it can block, and that seems really important in this, where like mutagenics and stuff are going to blow us out of the game if we don't block. Making him force it, waste stuff on blockers seems good. Yeah. Maybe Fear comes out against Leyline decks. Ox also isn't good though. Do we bring in the Blood Moons? It's probably better to just have the 2/3. Discard sucks though. Sometimes. Sometimes it's good. So we're probably... Unearth. Stops some of his triggers. I think it's still worth playing. Do we want these actually? I guess I never thought of this. It doesn't kill... probably kills enough. The Ox is clunky. Fear. And we'll cut that. Flame blades. No, we're bringing in removal. Opponent likes to brew. I like brewing in Modern too. Interesting build. It's obviously good against, or better against decks that are trying to use combat damage, right? Like, they makes blocking and attacking a lot more awkward when your creatures deal damage when they die. So it's probably decent against, like, well, he has to hit the no life gain one against, like, energy decks, because energy decks just win because they have Guide of Souls and Ocelot just gaining life every turn, so it doesn't matter that you do 3 or 4 or 5 damage to them. So yeah, maybe not. But it seems decent against Hollow One decks. I want to keep this without Leyline. We have to hit another Rootwalla or Hollow One in order to get a turn 1 Vengevine. Yeah, I think this is a pretty aggressive hand. We'll keep it. It looks like our opponent didn't go all in on Leyline. I'm mulling for it, so that's nice. I assume they have a 1-drop. I guess the last game they didn't. We have 2 cards we want to discard. We have a third to discard. If we see a Hollow One, what does this guy do? When it dies, do damage, he gets power. The target of spell or ability you control first time. So it gets a little bigger every time you target it. Well, that is pretty much our perfect draw right there. We are doing a decent amount of damage to ourselves to pull this whole off, but we're going to get to I guess we can't do the Phoenix. We have to get the free Rootwalla. So we'll do that and that. We will definitely cast Mr. I understand. I get why you're playing Flare. Cast the Lizard. Cast the Hollow One. Get back the Vengevine. Swing for 4. We probably have to block with the Hollow One just because he can, anything that targets it makes it big enough that the Rootwalla does nothing and we can't buff it. If we had another mana, it would be nice to just block with Rootwalla and be able to buff it up, which would eat it unless he had exactly mutagenic. Oh, he plays looting as well. Good to know. I think next turn we're just going Burning Inquiry, hope to, like, discard the Phoenix and then put it on something to continue swinging. We'll see what our draws are, obviously. And then just, like, buff Rootwalla. Oh, I can't do buff Phoenix and Inquiry, but we can buff if we can't do Phoenix, but I think we'll be able to. Technically, I can now, but I don't really want to exile that Faith Looting. Well, he discarded a Butcher, which seems like a pretty good card. I guess he's looking for a land. We assume he has mutagenic. Mutagenic would make it trade here, right? It'd be a 2/2 +2. I think that's fine. We're trading essentially a card we cast for free for 2 of his cards. He's stuck on mana. If he has double mutagenic, I mean, at that point, we've burned most of his hand, right? And he is taking 2 damage. Nope, didn't have double. He decided to burn us. I think he should have hit the Vengevine. By leaving it in play, he's dying pretty quick. Ooh. Yeah, I think we're going to go Flame Blade. And then let's just get the Phoenix on it. And then next turn we could just do like double Inquiry. Do I want to keep the looting? I guess not. We're going to double Inquiry. This hits for exactly 8, which means like any one of these creatures is lethal next turn. In fact, maybe we just leave Rootwalla back. Yeah, I think we just leave Rootwalla back. How did I get 8? Yeah, so we do 7. I think that's worth it because this is gonna be a flying haste menace that swings for. What the heck does he swing for? 9. Cool. Good luck, friend. Never loads. Well, last match here. Let's finish strong. Have a chance for another 4-1. Part of that loss is on me. I think we could have won that game too. I was playing smarter. It's annoying though. Why does it work against some die triggers and not all? I think I will go ahead and ask people who are smarter than me about it. When MT Tyrant? No. M Tyrant. I remember I wanted to look at my rating is. We're up to 1757. I was just curious. I don't know that I've really ever played limited, or maybe I played once and it went. Does it start at 1600? It went down, or it started at 1500, went up a little. But I was down in the 1600s, but we've had a series of 4-1 leagues, so I was figuring we were probably up higher. Don't think we keep a 4-lander. Not knowing what our opponent's doing, not having any. I mean, we technically have a discard outlet, but it's like if this was a hollow one, I might keep because we could set up a turn where we fear Street Wraith, make a hollow one, play this for free. I don't know. It's not there though. We're not keeping that. This looks much more keepable. We will say keep. We'll get rid of one of the fetches because having non-red sources isn't as important in this list. Most of the time, on a mole, in a lot of decks where you're playing like multicolor decks, you keep the 2 fetches because you can always fetch the basic, and it makes you better against like Boseiju Who Endures and Knight of the White Orchid and stuff. But we're not as concerned with that, and having a painless land is fine. Let's see what our opponent's doing. Playing a little slow so far. Thoughtseize? No. Cookbook. Take a look in a book. The Underworld Cookbook. Ooh. Well, this is going to be fun. Oh, sorry. Start on Street Wraith. Always do that first. Another Street Wraith. Looting. Free card. We'll just get rid of this one and we'll fetch one up. No. We'll just keep that one, I guess. No, because I can get the other basic if I wanted to. Would have been great to hit a Vengevine there, eh? But alas, we did not hit the Vengevine. We are just a Hollow deck this turn. I guess technically if we did the Aired Mesa, they might think we are the straight red-black version. Stomping Ground gives away that we are playing green, which we didn't necessarily need to give away. Something to consider. I was thinking, like, I can fetch just a mountain if I want to do less damage to myself, depending on what if they're an aggressive deck. They're obviously likely an Asmo deck. But they could just, like, Persistent Archon this turn, which would suck. But they did not do an Archon. They made an Emery instead. They are likely a Time Sieve deck, right? That tries to make all the tokens and sack them to Time Sieve for infinite turns. This is very good at killing our lovely ones that are hollow. Yeah, we'll just do this. I think it's worth playing these both out. Or no, we'll just play one out. Swing like so. He is going to buff it. Interesting. I'm surprised at that choice. I think he would prioritize keeping Asmo in play since it can kill our hollow ones. But maybe he has a second Asmo. That must be what it is. A second Asmo that he can activate this turn. So he stopped us from getting both Flame Blades, I guess. Flame Blade swings for 4. It's not quite enough. I need... Do you have another Asmo? No, we're worrying. For our Kappa Cannoneering. So we can block 1 and take 8 going to 1. So we need to somehow find 1 more damage. What can we find? Stomping Ground doesn't do it. I'm trying to think. I mean, putting them to 1 might do it. But he can go like Academy Manufacturer and make a Time Sieve. I don't know. We're so close. I just need to discard 1 more card. So I guess I Goblin Lore. Do I play the land first and then hope to Goblin Lore into like a Faithless Looting or another Street Wraith? Or a Phoenix? I think I do that. I think we win this turn if we hit some series of combination of cards. We hit the looting, so that should do it. He can't block the Flame Blade. Obviously, if he could block the Flame Blade, this wouldn't be lethal. But specifically, that's why I played the land first, because we know that Flame Blade damage will get in, and Flame Blade doing at least 5 damage meant that that was a lethal attack. So that was a good one to win the game 1 on. He plays Emery and Cookbook, but he also plays the Moxes, which makes the Blood Moon less good, but it does just kill Saga outright. Do we want Heat? Do we want... This hits Emery, but not Asmo, not Cannoneer. This hits Emery, sometimes Asmo. Still not... I mean, I'm never hitting Cannoneer. It's got a ward 4, but... I think we want to stay in our main game plan pretty solidly there. Obviously, Goblin Lore is part of what won us that game. I think we want to keep in as much aggression as possible. I think Ancient Grudge is just too important to hit their artifacts. Do we cut 1 Fear, 1 Phoenix, or 1 Flame Blade? 1 more lore. I cut 1 Flame Blade. See how this feels. Does feel good to get game 1, obviously. On the draw, I believe. Double check that. Yeah, they played first. So it means like we could hopefully win game 3 if nothing else. What was that Horde card spell? Dread Horde Arcanist? No. Dread Horde Butcher? Okay, we have double Ancient Grudge. Do we think this is good enough? Because if this doesn't win the game, it's not good enough. I think we need to have something going on besides just removing them. This is like one looting or inquiry away from being an amazing hand. So we'll keep it. It also could potentially just be a do nothing hand, but we'll take the risk. They got double Mox on turn 1. I gotta play an Emery. Oh wow, look at them go. This doesn't seem like it should be legal. Hope your bobble showed a Faithless Looting. Nope, Hollow one. This hand just gets better and better as soon as I find a discard outlet. Do we wanna just go Surveil or do we lead on the Flame Blade? Decisions. I think because we basically are doing nothing, like the Flame Blade is useless until we find. Look at that. We could have just Flame Bladed and trusted our deck to give us the card we needed. See, sometimes you just gotta talk to your deck and you gotta say, okay, deck, we doing this today? We gotta win this game? And when your deck says yes, you gotta be like, okay, I trust you. But you gotta give me that card or else we ain't doing anything. Our deck was ready. We could have led on the Flame Blade and swung for... I guess we don't actually have it yet. Our looting still has to hit a Street Wraith or something. Or another land. The land means we get Rootwalla, Hollow one, double Vengevine. Oh, I can't double Vengevine and Rootwalla. Whew. We might actually need one more turn to set up. Now that I think about it. Not quite there. Hey dudes. Guys up from nap? I think because we can't actually guaranteed cast these yet, we're just going to do this. We still wanted to draw that. But it feels bad to be a turn behind. I don't know that I would have cast that this turn though, because it's like discard, discard, trigger. We have to find somebody to like discard the other Vengevine. And then we can cast everything. Okay, opponent made a big Kappa. This makes it huge. He starts making tokens. Another Vengevine. Well, we're gonna try. Yeah, bud. Okay, buddy, give me a chance here. We're gonna go double Vengevine. We don't need the Rootwalla because we're gonna be able to cast all of our hollow ones. We hit the land. I think we're just playing this tapped though. We're getting double Vengevine. Could have been triple if we had some way to just discard the third one. You guys gotta go say hi to mommy. She's in bed right there. She can take you downstairs. Do I want to attack? I think we do. I don't think we're winning playing defense. I mean, I was gonna attack with this no matter what. The question is the Vengevines. I think I'm fine losing one because we have lethal next turn, and we can't block though. Like as soon as one trigger, it can't be blocked. Another Kappa Cannoneer. Okay. He might have enough blockers to where we kind of need to like get this other Vengevine. Trying to think of our best. I mean, our best card is honestly just another Faithless Looting, right? I guess a land means we can flash it back. But that only gets one creature cast. We have to like draw exactly another Rootwalla to get the Vengevine. Got triple Hollowvine, but it might not be enough. So is our opponent swinging is the question. Playing defense. It's probably smart. Fear missing out. Pretty good. That gives us... It's not quite there. We can fear missing out, Rootwalla, get back the one Vengevine. We can fear missing out this Vengevine, but then we don't get it. Huh. So he has 3 blockers. Let's say he block, block, block. We're only getting it for 4, 5. Ooh. 5. So we do just need to get the one Vengevine. Okay. See, you gotta do lots of math here. If you don't like math, this isn't the deck for you, I guess. Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of combat math. Often. So this is the power of the lizard. Is that by getting the free cast here, we're getting back the Vengevine, which will mean we can attack for lethal. I believe. Well, you know, I'll double check before I swing. We did draw exactly Rootwalla, which is funny. It meant that if we had the land instead of fear missing out, we could have looted into double Rootwalla to get back all our Vengevines. Go to combat. Assuming they don't have some instant speed removal spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm attacking with 5 4-power creatures. He can block 3 of them. 2 are going to hit for exactly 8, and then this will hit for 2. Which means he's taking 10 damage no matter how he blocks. 127 new items? Doesn't seem right. Oh, it counts play points. Okay, I was like, that doesn't seem right. Should only be like a few things. Well, we got the other 4-1 thoughts on the deck. This is the wrong one, sorry. I think it's, I mean, I love it. I love this deck. I will likely play more of it. The only thing I'd probably switch up is the sideboard. Again, I brought these in for all the energy decks, and I played 0 energy decks, right? I don't know. A Leyline is a very powerful card. It did win a game or 2, but it also... I don't know. This deck doesn't really care about dead cards as much, right? So drawing it later in the game isn't as much of a downside as other decks that play Leylines that can't cast them. So I'm usually against that, but I think it's probably fine here. I don't think Blood Moons are necessary. I think the decks where this is good were typically killing fast enough that like taking a turn to cast Blood Moon probably isn't worth it. And we probably just want to be aggressive. So I think it's fine if you want to cut the Surveil Land. I think I'm okay keeping 1. I'm not sure we need all 4 shocks, and so you could add 1 more basic to be a little more damage friendly and better into Beseiju effects. But I think this is a really tight 60. I love Goblin Lore. I love the inquiries. I like the 2 Oxes in place. You know, I think it's well constructed. I think this is a great list. Hope you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't. Next, we are likely doing Blue Belcher, and then maybe an Elves list. So stay tuned. Have a great day. Happy holidays.